What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and click the subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is going to be a review of RuPaul All Stars Season 4, Episode 1. So look, whole lot of stuff went down this episode. So let's just go on and jump into it. We know we start the episode off where we left off with the elimination and them sort of reminiscing on how it all went down. But a couple of things that came clear. Monique Carr, don't wrap that damn wig off again. It ain't cute. Nobody was feeling it. Nobody liked it. So make sure you don't do that thing again. That's not. The other thing that was clear was that Jasmine. It was a unanimous. Jasmine would have went home no matter who lip sync because Monique had Jasmine's lipstick as well. So they were just talking about they were talking about how it all went down and everything. So this week's Maxi Challenge, we didn't even mess around with no mini challenge this week. We had a Maxi Challenge where basically the girls were going to be put in two groups. They were going to be girl groups called Henny, and they were each given a song, and they had to do choreography. They had to come up with lyrics, and the background vocals were going to be Lizzo. However, there was going to be a guest star with their vocals. That's going to perform with them, and that is Miss Matthews. Oh shoot, I wrote her name down. I know her name because that's my girl. I know her name because it's Stacey Lane Matthews. Lord, I don't know how that just went blank because I love me some Stacey Matthews because she represents for the big girls. But anyway, so the two team captains were the two tops from last week. You had Monique and you had the Trinity. Monique picked Monet, of course. Who else was in her group? Monet, Monet, Pheromone, and Naomi. I'm sorry. And then the other side was Trinity picked Latrice, Valentina, and Gia. And what was funny was she got Gia and Pheromone were the last two to be picked. They were at the bottom. And and when Monique had a choice between Pheromone and Gia, she picked Pheromone. Gia was just in her feelings. And Gia was just like, I guess I just intimidate them. They don't know how fierce I am. Gia is a big bitch. Like, she is beyond a big bitch. Now, what we find out, though, is what the beef is between her and Pheromone. Because, she was giving Pheromone the blues last week. We find out that the two of them were friends, and they sort of fell out, and their falling out is very recent. And so Gia is still sort of like in her feelings. Like, she said something happened where Pheromone was trying to make her and another friend reconcile, and Pheromone showed up at her job drunk, and it was just a lot. But Trinity was like, okay, well, you need to handle that somewhere else because this isn't the time or the place for it, which agreed, it wasn't. So we see them go through that. Y'all know when they do these group challenges and they have to do the choreography and stuff, they always show us the worst stuff. Because then they get on stage and everything usually looks pretty decent. It comes together. So it looked like when they were doing the vocals, Monique, I think she's a better singer than she is. But she did lay a track and it was decent. Pheromone was like, look, I ain't never cut no record, I ain't never made no record, so I don't even know how to make this work. But she brought it together. She had to do her little sex talk thing, but it came through. And of course Monet did what Monet does. She had a little rap and everything. The problem was now Naomi slid through because they didn't show Naomi doing nothing, right? I was like, okay. Naomi, if you look at Big Brother, they always talk about the floaters. Naomi is a floater right now. But after a couple of more eliminations, she gonna have to shit or get off the pot. The problem came when they were doing their choreography. Monique was all over the place with her choreography. Not that her choreography wasn't cute. It's just that she didn't stop long enough to make sure everybody could get the choreography. And as a result, poor Pheromone was like, I don't know what's going on. I ain't figured this out. I can't do it. She's all over the place. She can't get the choreography. Of course, Monet got it down. Jasmine was like, Stacey was like, well, I'm just here in the middle. Y'all just tell me where to be, and it is what it is. But Jasmine was like, yeah, I don't know how this is going to work out. Then we have the other group with Latrice, Trinity, Milan, and Valentina. And again, Valentina late, she did her thing. Latrice did her thing. They didn't really show Latrice laying her track, but okay, Latrice did her thing. And it came together. Now, when they were out there doing their choreography, the problem was there was too many cooks in the kitchen. Everybody was trying to tell everybody else what to do, to the point where Stacy was finally like, well, who is the team captain? Because everybody's telling me to do something, but that's the person I really need to be paying attention to. Who's the team captain in this situation? And Trinity said it was me, but yet Gia is still talking over her, Valentina. Everybody got an opinion, so I was like, okay, I'm not sure how this is going to work out. All right? So we get back to the workroom. Gia goes up to Monique, and says, so who's the weak link on your team? Monique was like, no, I love my team. Everybody's cool. She said, no, you can be honest. You can tell me. She said, Pheromone, right? She can't hack it, can she? And Monique was like, She didn't know she was being set up. She said, it's okay, you can tell me. I know it's her. So then Gia Gunn gonna take her nasty ass on over to Pheromone. Now Pheromone over there doing her makeup, right? Minding her business. She gonna go over there to Pheromone and she gonna tell Pheromone, I think it's a good idea that you're over here getting ready because your team thinks that you're the weakest link. And you really need to make sure that you're bringing your A game. Pheromone was like, why are you over here? Why are you bothering me? She said, well, I just thought you should know that your team thinks that you're the weak link. She said, well, you know what? If my team thinks that I'm the weak link, then I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm over here getting ready and making sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and being ready for the performance, right? If I'm the weak link. So Gia couldn't get her. So the thing was, I'm gonna give it to Pheromone because Pheromone was like, I'm not gonna give you that. I am not going to jump to this bait. So Gia kept picking at her. So then Gia says, well, I just don't understand, no, she said this isn't very professional or something. And Gia said, well, it wasn't very professional for you to show up at my job drunk. And Pheromone was like, okay, first of all, that was something that wasn't public. Why are you talking about it here in the workroom? Like, if this was something you were really concerned about with us, why are we having this conversation right now in the workroom? Well, I just thought that it was time. We need to clear the air. I mean, just in case you don't make it through tonight and I don't have another opportunity to talk to you, I thought I would talk to you now. Pheromone was like, look, I don't have time for drama. I don't have time for somebody who's trying to create a storyline using me and get camera time. So can you please just leave me alone? Honey, I gagged. I said, you better go ahead, Pheromone. Pheromone is not jumping to this bait. The more Gia picked at her, the more Pheromone paid her dust, honey. To the point where finally Monique was like, okay, look. You're not going to bully my teammate. She asked you to leave her alone. She asked you to back up, and I'm going to need you to do that. I'm going to need you to respect that because you're not going to bully her. Well, I'm not trying to bully her. I just don't understand why she won't have a conversation with me. She was like, because she don't want to talk to you right now, so leave her alone. She asked you nicely to step out her space. So then Gia going to walk over to Monique talking about some, you don't have to get so loud and defensive. She said, no, I'm not defensive. I'm just telling you, I'm not going to sit here and let you bully her. You're not going to do it. And at that moment, everybody peeped Gia's game. Because again, she wouldn't stop. She just kept pick. She wouldn't stop. And Pheromone would not jump. And when Pheromone finally said, I'm not here to help you create a storyline for yourself, honey, I said, oh. So, and Monique peeped it too. Monique said, okay, I got you. You're fake. I saw what you did. Okay, you got me. But I got your number now. I said, oh boy. So, we have our performances. The guest judges, Sierra, and another lady. She's a country star. I don't know her. And the first group that came out was Trinity Tuck's group. And they did really, really well. Like, they looked good. And I thought it was very interesting and very apropos that Latrice Royale came out there in a bodysuit that had the L on it, reminiscent of Laverne and Shirley. So rest in peace, Penny Marshall. I'm sure the L is for Latrice. But it just was very sad, but apropos that it would be this week that would be the one with the L on it, because it looked like the Laverne and Shirley, the Laverne L for Laverne and Shirley. So rest in peace, Penny Marshall. You see how I made that connection? But they did really well. I mean, they did. I must admit, they were on it. They looked good. The choreography was good. They did really well. The song sounded nice. Then we had the second group came out, and Valentina slayed, honey. Now, people can say what they want to say, but Valentina slayed. All right, so the second group comes out, and that's Monique and her group. The choreography was all over the place. Pheromone is beyond can't dance. It wasn't she didn't catch the choreography. It was she can't dance. See, it's one thing to not catch choreography. It's something different to just not be able to dance. She can't dance. And it was horrible. Like, the choreography was everywhere. Monique looked bad. And when I say look bad, I mean she was going for this Aaliyah look. But I don't like the way Monique does her makeup. Now, again, maybe it's me. Maybe, I don't know. But I don't like the way Monique does her makeup. And her makeup to me looked horrible. She had on this wig. It was an Aaliyah type outfit. Like, I could definitely see where you were going with it. But it just didn't do it. It just didn't do it. It didn't look cute. It didn't look good on you. And as a result, she was all over the place. And she had this red jacket that she was trying to, I guess, give her whole 90s flow. And when she tried to take the jacket off, it was just all over the place. And it just didn't work. Naomi did really well. Monet Exchange did really well. So for the runway, it was, couture runway realness. They were wearing these evening gowns and everything. And see, here's where people may or may not agree with me because, I ain't no fashionista. I keep telling y'all that. So the first person that came out was Gia Gunn. She looked gorgeous. For as much of a bitch as she is, she looked gorgeous. Okay, she had this this pink. It was beautiful. She looked beautiful. Makeup, hair, everything. She looked gorgeous. Okay. Latrice Royale came out. She had on an all-black ensemble. I personally think she could have used a spot of color because the black just blended in. She had black hair, black outfit. She had a black stole. But everything was just black head to toe. And I feel like it all blended in. It looked nice now. But a gold stole, a pop of color, I think she could have used. But she looked good. Milan came out with a gown on. It was okay. Trinity the Tuck had on a red gown with cutouts because, of course, that's her thing, with the cutouts, with the tuck, with the body and all that. Beautiful. Valentina had on this beautiful gown with the floral print. And Sierra said it reminded her of Valentino. Did she say Valentino? But it was a beautiful gown. It really was. It looked nice on her. The colors looked nice, everything. I thought she looked really nice. Naomi came out with this mirrored thing. I didn't like it. Ain't do nothing for me. It didn't look couture. It looked disco. It looked like something you'd wear down at Studio 54. I don't know. Wasn't me. Monique Hart has this gown on. When she first came out, it looked uncomfortable. But then there was a reveal, which is nice. It was a beautiful reveal. Okay, all right, Monique. You showing us that you spent that money well, honey. You spent that money well. Pheromone had a nice little disco ball dress on, with the pink hair. Same pink hair she wore last week, but okay. Monet Exchange slayed that damn runway, honey. She had this red velvet gown on, and she had her makeup, and Ruth said it was giving her Shirley Ralph realness. I think she absolutely could do a Dreamgirls number in that a la Shirley Ralph, okay? Because she did. She looked just like Shirley Ralph, and she looked gorgeous. She slayed that thing. She looked absolutely gorgeous, okay? All right. So, who are our tops and who are our bottoms? Now, we come back, and everybody's on the runway, and da-da-da-da-da. Here are our tops. Monet, Naomi, Valentina at the top. Bottom. Pheromone, Milan, Monique Hart. Honey, she done went from best to worst in a week. Now, honestly, and Monique was like, well, did I really do that bad? See, here's the thing, baby. Just like last week when you kept reading everybody talking about, well, this is All Stars, this is All Stars, baby, this is All Stars. So, no, you weren't. In a regular season, you probably would have been safe with that performance because it was bad, but it was probably going to be somebody that wasn't as bad, as good as you. However, two things. One, you were the team captain, and your choreography looked a hot mess. You looked a hot mess, and Farrah looked a hot mess. That probably had something to do with it as well, with you being in the bottom. But you were in the bottom, honey, and I think it was a good thing. It's going to humble your ass because you was walking around last week like your shit don't stink. So I think this will be a good thing to humble you. The only thing I hated was that Pheromone was in the bottom for as much as Gia was just egging, pick. I really wanted her to do well. I really did, but that choreography did her in because her lip sync, I mean, her performance part of it was good. Like, her part of the song was pretty good. It was just that damn dancing, honey. She just couldn't dance. And I think if Monique had stopped long enough to really pay attention to how bad Pheromone was, I think they might have been able to find a way to play around with her not being able to dance. Either make it campy or give her something more simplistic. Like, they could have done something to work around it. Because, again, there's a difference between I can't pick up choreography and I'm just bad. So, when they got to the critique, once again, Monique, here's where you were pissing me off. You're making excuses. Because they brought up the whole jacket thing and you were saying, well, it got sweaty and I am a man and blah, blah, blah. And Sierra gave it to you. Sierra is very soft-spoken, but Sierra said, look, sometimes you just got to eat it and just got to accept it and not make excuses. I said, okay, Sierra, don't make no excuses. I see you, boo. And it came down to the bottom two. Well, the top two was Monet and Valentina. Naomi was safe. The bottom two, Monique, Pheromone. Now, off the break, in my mind, I was like, Pheromone need to go home. This is her second week in a row. The first week, okay, we'll give you a pass. You fail. Shit happens. But the second week, it's All Stars. Like, but we got to go through the whole rigmarole because you just never know what's going to happen. Now, when they got backstage, Monique was very rude in my mind. Because, they did the whole talking and, letting everybody soak up their win. And Monique was like, well, look, when can I talk to y'all? Because I'm ready to do this because I just can't go home. Now, see, last week when you were at the top, if somebody had done that to you, you would have some shit to say. You wouldn't be happy about that. But she just kept saying, well, I just need to talk. And Valentina was like, well, I just need a moment. She said, because I think what Valentina was saying was, I really don't want to talk to nobody because I need to make sure that my lip sync is tight because that's where I fucked up in my season. So I really would just rather sit over here and practice my damn lip sync. I ain't really trying to talk to none of y'all. But she did. And I think in Monique's mind, she felt like I'm good with Monet because Monet ain't going to send me home because that's my homegirl. Which she's probably right about. I don't think in that moment, that early on in the season, I don't think Monet was going to send her home. Valentina was in a spot because she was like, I just cleared the air with Pheromone and I really would hate to send her home. And she doesn't really have a relationship with Monique. However, I think she knew she was going to send Pheromone home because she just kept saying to her, well, what does that mean for us if I send you home? And, they had that whole moment. Something else I was going to say. I lost my train of thought. Something happened with Pheromone. Oh, that's what it was. Duh. So while they were talking, Gia decides that she's going to go over there and interrupt that conversation. And she's like, well, you know, if this is the last time I get to talk to her, I just really want to clear. Basically, now after you done been a bitch, now you want to apologize, talking about something. Well, if I got in your head in any way, if I in any way contributed to your team being at the bottom or getting in your head, then I apologize. Pheromone was like, don't come over here now and try to clear your goddamn conscience. Like, this is not the time. Like, I'm over here trying to have a conversation. I really need you to go leave me the fuck alone. And like I said, the rest of the girls are peeping all this. And Trinity even said, it's time for Gia to go. Like, this is not cool. It's time for her to go. The other thing that irritated me is damn Valentina started that bullshit again, talking about how hard it is to send somebody home. Look, you know the rules. See, when they first changed the rules and they made it about whoever's in the top got to take the... Okay, that first season, I see what people might have been like, oh shit, I ain't see that coming. But now, they've done it for the last 2 seasons. You know what they're going to do. You know what the expectation is. So when you win, suck that shit up. And the people at the bottom, you suck it up. Because this is the game. And Monique said that too. She said, you know, this is just how the game is. She said, I don't like it. But that's what it is. That's what we signed up for. And that's what it is. When you're at the top, you're at the top. But when you're at the bottom, you're at the bottom. Now. So now here comes the lip sync. Let me tell y'all something. It was an Ariana Grande song. Let me tell y'all something. Now, in Monet's season, last season, Monet was the fucking lip sync slayer. Do you hear me? Ain't nobody really want to go up against Monet because I think she survived like 3 lip syncs before she finally got eliminated. I don't know where that girl was tonight because that lip sync that Monet did was tired. It was tired. Monet, I don't know if hers was that bad or Valentina's was that good. Because when I tell you Valentina slayed that shit from day one, I mean Valentina slayed that lip sync. And don't get me wrong, I wanted Monet to win because I like Monet. And I think she's a great lip syncer, but she didn't give it to us tonight. And a part of me thinks she did it on purpose because she didn't want to make that decision. A part of me thinks that. But then there's a part of me that was like, this was an easy decision. Like, Pheromone was in the bottom 2 weeks in a row. It's All Stars. That was an easy decision as far as I was concerned. So I don't think she did it on purpose. Of course, she did a death drop. She had a reveal. You know, she did those types of things. But when it came down to actually giving me a performance, I couldn't take my eyes off of Valentina. She changed it to a beautiful gown. Again, a la disco, Studio 54, standing on somebody's stage, solid gold, something. But she did. She bought that thing. She bought it. She bought it. And as a result, she had to pick. And she picked Pheromone, which to me was the only decision. Like, if you're going to take friendship out of it, if you're going to take all that out of it, that's really the only decision. Pheromone, I at that point, I was rooting for Pheromone only to stick it in Gia Gunn's face. Because I feel like there was a sense of satisfaction that Gia had. Because the whole time she just kept talking about how Pheromone didn't have any talent. And she was going to be gone. And she slid by last week. But they was going to get... Like, I was so wanting her. But not against Monique. Because even though Monique been getting on my nerves, I do think Monique deserved to stay. But anyway, that's your review. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.